Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Hello and welcome to the Pronunciation Pro podcast. My name is Annie Rudin and I am here to teach all things English pronunciation, American accent, and confidence while speaking English. I apologize if there's some noise in the background. My kids are on spring break. We call spring break here in the US, and it is, well, our school system has 2 weeks off during the spring. And so they are running around with their friends. My oldest is playing the guitar right now. And so we're just hoping we can kind of record this before anything gets too crazy out there. But it's a beautiful time of year here in Arizona, is where I live, and it is really gorgeous. So they're kind of in and out, playing outside and enjoying the beautiful weather. So next week, actually, I'm going to be attending the TESOL conference, the Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages conference. So I'm very excited to go there, and I will be presenting one of the breakout groups. I will be presenting on the topic of kind of a speech pathologist take on pronunciation and basically our approach or our method for teaching English pronunciation. I realized last year when I went to the conference that there was not a lot of understanding about how to teach pronunciation effectively. I've been in the speech pathology world where we have very specific training to be able to teach pronunciation and accent, and English teachers have a really hard time knowing exactly how to do that. So a lot of English teachers are teaching pronunciation, but they don't really have a solid background in it. So if you are looking to if you're kind of intermediate to advanced level English speaker, and you need more help with that pronunciation and accent side of things, definitely be looking for a speech pathologist to help you, and a speech pathologist that has experience. And of course, we always love you to come and join us at Pronunciation Pro, where that's exactly what we're doing. We're helping you refine your spoken English and to build confidence while you do it. Today, I actually want to dive in a bit to just correcting some very common mispronunciations. I am working with several students who either have kind of a British English background or kind of Italian or French background. And I see this across the board that there's a lot of issue with word stress. Okay, word stress is knowing which syllable in a word to stress. Now, this is a very right or wrong, black and white kind of rule. If you look in the dictionary, the English dictionaries, there will be a specific syllable that needs to be stressed or emphasized more than the other. Okay, for example, message. The word message is a 2-syllable word, message. So if I'm clapping out the syllables, that's what they teach us here in the schools when we're growing up, is to clap it out. So message. A syllable always contains at least one vowel sound. It can have more than one vowel sound, but it always has to have at least one vowel sound and one or more consonants, okay, to be a syllable. So message, if I say, so first syllable stress is message. If I say second syllable stress, massage. Okay, message, massage. So you can see how if I stressed it incorrectly, that it's going to get a different pronunciation. So that is why it's so important to get word stress on there, because it helps us really be able to get the correct pronunciation. Now, when you're stressing a syllable in a word, you're typically getting the full pronunciation of the vowel. Okay, so message. Okay, and then the syllable that is not stressed typically gets a reduced vowel sound. So if you notice, message message, that A in the second syllable is just becoming a message, message. Whereas if the second syllable were stressed, I would say massage, massage, and would give more pronunciation to that vowel in the second syllable. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because I really want to tune your ear to how English words work, and especially to word stress. Now, there are a lot of rules that go along with word stress, and I map it out very directly in the Pronunciation Pro course as to, the rules that dictate why we stress certain syllables over others. So there are different rules, but as we're speaking, it's much harder to remember a rule than it is to kind of copy and repeat and be able to tune your ear to how others people are pronouncing words and which syllable is being stressed, and being able to then copy that. So when your ear is tuned to it, you'll notice it more, and then you'll be able to repeat it back. So similar to children, basically they don't understand the rules of word stress. And actually most native speakers, if you ask them why they stressed one syllable over another, they will have no idea. Okay, that's not how we learned word stress growing up. We learned it by repeating what our caregiver said. So they would say a word a certain way, we'd listen to it, we'd repeat it the same way. As adult learners, we tend to rely heavily on written language to be able to learn those rules and patterns. But really, we are at such an advantage if we rely more heavily on listening instead of the written word, especially for English, because, oh my goodness, English does not follow the same patterns written as it is auditory, and so or spoken English. So we really have to tune our ears to how English is being spoken. So I love that you're listening to this podcast. I love that you're getting this exposure to English. You're listening, you're doing deliberate practice in your pronunciation. The more you listen, the more and it's not just about listening, because there are many, many of our students who are, who come and say, I've been in this country 20, 30 years, and I still have an accent. I still can't pronounce it correctly. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So it's not just listening to English that is going to fix the problem or to fix those error patterns. It's going to be deliberate practice, understanding what's different between you and a native speaker, and being able to deliberately practice those movements and be able to tune your ear to it. So today we're going to go through some common problems, and I'll do this in a two-part episode so that I'm not overwhelming you with too many. So we'll be doing 10 in this one and then 10 in the next one, part 2. And I'm going to go through these common errors and help you understand why and what the difference is. And as you're doing it, as you're listening to this, I want you to repeat back with the stress patterns that I'm demonstrating. And that will kind of give you that feedback for yourself of, am I saying it? Am I saying it like her? Can I shift it? That's going to help, as well as I break it down and I really describe what's happening. It is a good practice to tuning your ear. Okay, so let's go ahead. So number 1, the first word we are going to talk about is address, okay, or address, right? Address can be a noun or a verb, and this is called a heteronym word. So address is going to be a noun. Address is going to be a verb. So the word stress shifts depending on whether you're using a noun or a verb. This happens a lot in American English. A heteronym word is a word that's spelled exactly the same, but pronounced differently depending on whether it's a noun or a verb. So here's the rule that goes along with heteronyms, is that for 2-syllable words, if it's a noun, it's first syllable stress. If it's a verb, it's second syllable stress. Address, address. Now, while we're on the topic, we might as well just kind of go through some other examples of this. Record, okay? Record, noun. Record, verb. I set a new record in running. Can you record this meeting? You see the first syllable stress and second syllable stress. All right, let's do another example of that. Present. Okay, noun, it's going to be first syllable stress, verb, second syllable stress. So, she gave me a birthday present. Present. That's first syllable stress. I will present my ideas to the team. Present. So that's going to be a verb. Present, present. How about project? Okay, first syllable stress for a noun, second syllable stress for a verb. This is an exciting project. He can project his voice well. Okay, that's the verb. Project, noun, verb is project. All right, we'll do one more example of that. Contest. Contest is the noun. Contest is the verb. Contest. So really pay attention to those vowels here. So a first syllable stressed, contest. The verb is contest. See how I reduced that syllable that was not stressed? Instead of con, I reduced it to con. Contest. So contest, she won the spelling contest. Contest, I will contest the results. All right, so I gave you several words that follow into this category of heteronym words. So again, 2-syllable words. If it's a noun, we stress the first syllable. If it's a verb, we stress the second syllable. Okay, that's a very common pattern for word stress, and probably one that is good to memorize as you go through this. That's an easier one, and it happens all the time. So really kind of pay attention to that one. All right, so that's kind of a little bit on heteronym words. Now let's go into some just words that the stress pattern is sometimes mixed up. So let's talk about the word authority. Authority. So authority is going to be second syllable stress. Sometimes I hear it authority, authority. So third syllable stress, and that would be incorrect. Authority, authority. No, we don't want that. We want authority. Authority, authority. Okay, who has authority to make this decision? Who has the authority to make this decision? All right, how about this one? Category. Category. It's going to be first syllable stress. I hear it mispronounced as category, category, as third syllable stress, and that's not correct. Okay, we want to be first syllable stress. Category, category. Which category would you put the color red? Okay. All right, comfortable, comfortable. I very, very often hear my students say comfortable, comfortable. That is incorrect. We don't want to pronounce that comfor, comfor. Native speakers, we reduce this to comforter, comforter instead of comfor, comfortable, comfortable. Are you feeling comfortable with these words? Comfortable. So here's another one that is commonly mispronounced. So it should be development or develop. Develop. So second syllable stress. And I hear frequently develop, develop, where it's first syllable stress. Now we don't want that. We want second syllable stress, develop. He is working on to develop the new system, to develop. So let's really practice that to yourself, making sure that you're saying these out loud so that you can really kind of get that. When you say things out loud, you're going to get that feedback in a different way than if you just think it. You can't just think pronunciation. You have to actually get your mouth moving. All right, another one that is very commonly mispronounced. So it should be economic, economic, third syllable stress. And I frequently hear economic, economic. Okay, that is not correct. Economic, economic. We are learning about the economic or economics of our country. Economics. And let's see, we'll do 3 more. Entrepreneur. So this has a French pronunciation pattern in English. So we're going to stress the last syllable. Most English words do not stress the last syllable in the word. Most of the time it's first, second, third, something like that. But is hardly ever the last syllable. In French and Italian, it's the last syllable is very frequently stressed. So those are the ones that we have to really practice. So entrepreneur, entrepreneur, entrepreneur. I hear often entrepreneur, entrepreneur. And we want to reduce that first syllable. We don't want it to be the first syllable stress. We want to reduce it and really end strong with that. Entrepreneur. Okay, how about environment? Environment. So this is one that I hear our students do. We pronounce every syllable. Environment, 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 and that's not correct. Native speakers are going to reduce the middle syllable. So environment, environment. See, run is really reduced. Instead of Ron, we're just saying run. Environment, environment, environment. Okay, one more here. Let's do February. It is spelled with an R, but we drop the R. So instead of February or February, February is what I hear most often. We want to February. We want to get that Febu. So no R in this, and we want to do invisible Y. February. My birthday is in February. All right. Okay, that's all we're going to do for today. There's a lot of words in there. So I am going to I kind of did 10 words here, but also I threw in a few more with the heteronyms. So let's go through, I'll go through the 10 words and then we will talk about the heteronym words. So address and address, right? Address, address. Okay, number 2, authority. Number 3, category. Number 4, comfortable. Number 5, develop. Number 6, economic. Number 7, entrepreneur. Number 8, environment. And number 9, February. Okay, so I only did 9, so maybe I'll throw in another one. Okay, here we go. Government. So often the middle syllable is often reduced in fast speech. So instead of government, it would be government, government, just first syllable stress and kind of reduced on the rest of them. Government, 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 government. Okay. All right. So those are your 10 words. Now let's talk about the heteronym words that I went over. Those are going to be record or record. So I'll do the noun first. Record or record. Present, present. Permit, permit. Project, project. Contest, contest. All right, are we tuning our ear to American English? Are you kind of hearing these words and absorbing some of this? Now, if there was one of them that you recognized, oh, I don't say that right, or I have that a different pronunciation, or that didn't feel so comfortable or natural, write it down and let's practice those over and over again, because that's the process of pronunciation and learning accent. Is we have to get very deliberate, very specific in learning the rules, learning how it works, listening, training our ear, and getting that repetition. So work on these. So excited you could be here with me. If you want more of this, come to pronunciationpro.com. Come join us there. We have an app. If you search, and actually as of right now, let me just kind of look real quick at the calendar. But as of right now, we should, by April 1st, we should have our app open and available on Apple computers or Apple phones. And then on Androids, it will probably be middle of April or May. And this is 2025. So if you're listening to this and it's either April or May, or sorry, April or May 2025 or later, go into the App Store and download Pronunciation Pro and get started. We'll have some free lessons there on the app. Before you even sign up, you can kind of get a feel for what we're doing at Pronunciation Pro, and I would love for you to join us. Otherwise, go to pronunciationpro.com and we'll get you started there. Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.